The roots of Pakistan's military dominance can be traced back to the tumultuous birth of the nation in 1947. The partition of British India into India and Pakistan was a period of immense upheaval and violence. This chaotic backdrop thrust the nascent Pakistani military into a central role. Tasked with defending the new borders, the military quickly became a pillar of the state. The death of Pakistan's founder, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, in 1948 exacerbated political instability. This power vacuum allowed the military to expand its influence. The first military coup by General Ayub Khan in 1958 marked a turning point. It solidified the military's place as a powerful political force. This pattern of military intervention continued in the following decades. Coups by General Yahya Khan in 1969 and General Zia-ul-Haq in 1977 entrenched the military's grip on power. This cycle of instability allowed the military to amass wealth and influence, often at the expense of democratic institutions. The military's early nation-building and political interventions had a profound impact. It fostered a belief that the military was the ultimate guarantor of Pakistan's stability and security. This self-appointed role, coupled with access to state resources, transformed the military into a powerful economic force. The military's forays into politics were not merely about seizing control, they were also about securing economic power. Each coup d'état brought with it opportunities to reshape the economic landscape in favor of the military establishment. Land grants, favorable business contracts, and control over key industries became the spoils of political power. The military's influence extended beyond direct ownership. It wielded significant power through its control of regulatory bodies and its ability to influence government policies. This allowed the military to create a system where its business interests flourished, often at the expense of civilian entrepreneurs. The lack of transparency and accountability surrounding the military's financial dealings made it difficult to gauge the true extent of its wealth. The military's budget remained largely opaque, with significant portions shrouded in secrecy. This lack of oversight provided fertile ground for corruption and the diversion of funds towards personal enrichment. The intertwining of political and economic power created a vicious cycle. The military's economic interests motivated it to maintain its grip on political power, while its political clout allowed it to further expand its economic empire. This dynamic, deeply entrenched in Pakistan's power structure, has had far-reaching consequences for the country's democratic development and economic growth. At the heart of the Pakistani military's economic empire lies the Fauji Foundation, a sprawling conglomerate established in 1954 to provide welfare to retired military personnel. It has grown into a behemoth, controlling assets worth billions. Its interests span cement, fertilizer, food processing, banking, and telecommunications. Flagship companies like Fauji Fertilizer and Askari Bank are among Pakistan's largest. Critics argue its success stems from military advantages. These include access to prime land, tax breaks, and preferential government contracts. Civilian businesses struggle to compete. The Fauji Foundation exemplifies the military's vast economic interests. These organizations often operate with little transparency or accountability. They symbolize the military's deep-rooted economic power. The Pakistani military's economic footprint extends far beyond industrial conglomerates and financial institutions. It has also established a formidable presence in the lucrative real estate sector, most notably through the Defense Housing Authority, or DHA. Established in the 1970s, DHA was initially tasked with developing housing schemes for military personnel. However, it has since morphed into a major real estate developer, catering primarily to the affluent segments of society. DHA projects are coveted for their planned layouts, modern amenities, and perceived security. This has allowed DHA to command premium prices for its properties, making it one of the most profitable real estate developers in the country. However, DHA's success has not been without controversy. Accusations of land grabbing, forced evictions, and environmental degradation have dogged DHA's expansion. Critics argue that DHA often acquires land at below-market rates, displacing local communities and damaging ecosystems in the process. The lack of transparency in DHA's land acquisition practices further fuels these concerns. DHA's vast landholdings and its ability to generate significant revenue through real estate development have raised concerns about the concentration of wealth and power in the hands of the military. It highlights the complex interplay between land ownership, economic power, and the military's influence in Pakistan. The Pakistani military's economic might is not solely a product of domestic factors. Foreign aid, particularly from the United States, has played a significant role in bolstering the military's financial position. For decades, Pakistan has been a major recipient of U.S. military assistance, receiving billions of dollars in aid, equipment, and training. While a portion of this aid is earmarked for specific defense-related expenditures, a significant portion flows into the military's coffers with few strings attached. This provides the military with a substantial source of off-budget financing, allowing it to fund its vast economic empire without relying on parliamentary appropriations or public scrutiny. The influx of foreign aid has had a two-pronged effect on the military's economic power. Firstly, it has freed up resources that would have otherwise been allocated to defense, allowing the military to divert funds towards its commercial ventures. Secondly, it has provided the military with access to advanced technologies and equipment, which it has often leveraged for commercial gain. The dependence on foreign aid has also had unintended consequences. It has made the military less accountable to civilian oversight and more beholden to foreign patrons. This dynamic has further distorted the civil-military balance in Pakistan, tilting the scales in favor of the military establishment.